Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai. Alrighty, Federico Chiesa is officially a Red. This is fantastic news, and especially because he did not demand a wage increase for his move to Liverpool. He did not demand a wage increase actually to renew at Juventus. In fact, they never even offered him that terms. They just wanted him out, very similar to how they forced Dybala out. Anyway, when he was holding up his number 14 shirt, and 14 looks mighty fine on him, I think that's the number Henderson chose. Good memories of Xabi Alonso, one of my favourite players of all time. He's amazing. Subarashi, Sugoi, Steki. Obviously, he didn't use the Japanese lingo, but you know what I mean. He was super excited. He seems down to earth. He's a great lad, and behind the scenes in the Juve dressing room, he's really popular as well. And in the Fiorentina dressing rooms as well. In fact, he's a fan favourite everywhere he went. He has a high ceiling, great bargain. My goodness, £10 million up front. You won't even get a championship striker or winger for that amount. So the UK market is absolutely inflated and ridiculous. But welcome Federico Chiesa. This guy is actually good enough to break into the starting 11 if he hits form. And my goodness, one of the only players in our squad capable of a 10 out of 10 performance on the weekly ratings. So I cannot wait. Bargain, high calibre, untouchable 2 to 3 years ago. Under Andrea Pirlo's Juventus, this guy was untouchable. 100 million euros may not have even gotten him. So to get him for 10 million euros, 26 years old, looking forward to making an impact, passing his medical. Yes sirree, I'm all for it. Yeah boy. But yeah, we're talking about transfers here. Two big names have come out of the blue in the last 24 hours. Now Alan Varela is the first one I want to mention at Porto. Now your boy, the Miyazaki man Sai, Liverpool fan in Japan, when we signed Wataru Endo, when we were linked to Romeo Lavia, I told you the player we should be getting is Alan Varela. I said it from the very beginning. I said it before all the other channels, because this guy is Fernando Redondo regen from Real Madrid. Classy, silky, operating at the base of midfield, spraying long passes, not afraid to get stuck in, put his foot in, do the dirty work. Great work rate, highly regarded in Argentina, proved his credentials at Porto as well in the European leagues. Porto love him, he's essential to the way Porto plays. The Premier League at Portugal, the leagues or the other opposition would love him to leave. He has a 65 million euro buyout clause. Julio Pavoni, or it could be Giulio Pavoni, who covers media in Portugal as well, he says that Liverpool want Alan Varela, but for 90 million euros, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said the release clause is 65 million euros. And as far as everyone's aware, it's always been 65 million euros, and that would be there or thereabouts the Martin Zubimendi deal. Apparently, we put the feelers out and reached out 2 weeks ago for Alan Varela. This is going to be a hurricane's worth of transfer gossip in the last 2 days. And speaking of hurricanes, that's why I'm a little bit under the weather, a little bit husky, because now it's the morning, it's 7:40 AM, and a hurricane has been buffeting our doors and windows and externals for the last 48 hours. And my goodness, it's a pretty bad hurricane. Look at the images right here. But the Miyazaki man side, Liverpool fan in Japan, is safe. The house is strong, well built on high land with concrete foundations as well. So all good for now, but I'll keep you updated. But speaking of updates, James Pearce and CL Merlo are saying that Porto don't want to lose Alan Varela. They consider him untransferable. They don't want to come to the negotiating table. So why does that even matter when it is a release clause? So FSG, Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, all they need to do is deposit the money, because I don't think Portugal is like Spain where the player needs to buy himself out. They need to deposit the money, pay out the full release clause, which I believe is 65 million euros, and Porto have no say in negotiations at all. Do we want to sour relationships with them? We got Lucho Diaz from them as well. We've done prominent business with him. We gave him Marco Grujic, I believe, in the past as well. So yet to be seen. However, if we want him, we need to stump up and pay the release clause in one go. So I really hope we do that. Contrasting information and news all around. A private plane went out there. A private plane went out to Greece as well. We'll come on to that. Oh, and I did mention in the community post, for the members especially, ask your boy, the Liverpool fan in Japan, Miyazaki man Sai, any question and answer that you want answered. We'll make a dedicated Q&A session. The missus will host that, and I'll answer the best that I can about Liverpool, life, universe, and everything. Life in Japan. And more news is coming out now. Federico Chiesa rejected lucrative offers from Saudi Arabia because he really wants to prove himself at the highest level. He talked to his dad. His dad said straight away, you got to get your butt son over to Liverpool. In those exact words, Liverpool is the place to be. He was so excited as he was travelling in the plane over to Liverpool. He wanted his missus to play the You'll Never Walk Alone Anfield theme, just so you can imagine what it'd be like on a European night at Anfield when he makes his Anfield debut. He asked his missus to put it on the phone. What a lad. Love his smile. Forza Liverpool. I love this guy. Straight away, you can tell this guy is enamoured with Liverpool. I know the last guy after Melo from Juventus, and they were so surprised we took him off their hands, by the way. That was a bit of a kerfuffle of a transfer, right? But good attitude from Chiesa. Good support network, and he looks really keen to make an impact. So bless you, Chiesa. Let's see you in a Liverpool red. kicking ass in the Premier League. Now it seems Hurricane Hughes, Richard Hughes, is really coming to life in the last few moments of the transfer window. Alan Varela, as I mentioned, big prominent name. He could be world class given time. Only 23 years old when he reaches Zubimendi's age. Many people in fact think he's got a higher ceiling than Zubimendi, who's a very clean and tidy player. But Alan Varela has a bit more flair going forwards and a little bit more determination and drive. Now Zubimendi is a short ball master, would have been very good in the slot machine, but Alan Varela offers something deep, like a deep lying tempo maestro. He's probably of the same mould as Ruben Neves from Wolves. Remember? Ruben Neves, young wonder kid from Porto, going off to Wolves, really establishing himself. Free kick maestro. Alan Varela is also a free kick maestro, but really he's got a bit of techers around him. Really is a Fernando Redondo regen. Check out Fernando Redondo for Real Madrid. Absolute silk, classy player. And if you're going for an established number 6 to take up the mantle and take that role for future years, with Gravenberch, the protege of the 6th role, being experimented with this season, although he's shown the ability to play in a double pivot previously in his stint in Holland, then that leaves Wataru Mount and Endo to see the game out, to rotate against tough opposition, to get his foot in, to get stuck in, and to really battle in those feisty games against the Chelsea, against the Manchester City, against the Arsenal, where he came up trumps. Now against the smaller teams, you probably want a better ball player like Alan Varela or the Gravenberch, but against the big teams there's no harm, because last season Maka and Endo in the double pivot worked wonders and gave us the base to really press on and attack Arsenal. We should have beat Arsenal with the Trent counter-attack. We should have beat City because of Doku karate kicking McAllister in the dying minutes as well. So if we can improve our head-to-head against the top 6 teams, because we slightly underperformed last season, by hook or by crook, PGMOL, bad refereeing decisions, not finishing our clear-cut chances, whatever other misgivings that we happen to experience. But this season, Arne Slot could put it right now. If Arne Slot turns over the opposition with his tactical, shiny mastermind mind, then I would say we have a legitimate chance for the Premier League, because he seems the sort, with game management, to be able to grind out those 1-0, 2-0 victories against a lower opposition in the league. Now, if he can consistently do that, which was a masterful tactic of Wenger and Ferguson and Mourinho back in the day, then it's really those head-to-heads that will put a big dent in the opposition's hopes of catching the shiny one. He's had a perfect start to Liverpool's season so far. Long may it continue, and the reinforcements will only help. It looks like we are busy. The Liverpool private jet has been tracked worldwide over to Porto. Is it Hughes over to Porto, or to bring Alan Varela back over here? There's another one as well, by the way, going to Olympiakos, because Hezze, a defensive midfielder at Olympiakos, is being linked as well, even though more prominently linked to Newcastle. Figure that. But I think movement will be done. Hughes would have put the feelers out and started negotiations weeks ago on many of our targets, especially Alan Varela, having highlighted that 2 weeks ago we did get in contact with him. 2 weeks ago, that's an interesting time frame considering Zubimendi's story as well. So look for a piece of business to be done. A busy end to the transfer window. Hurricane Hughes is on the way. Typhoon Shanshan is battering us here in Miyazaki. Thank you everyone. Support messages on keeping safe as well. As I mentioned, with Wataru Endo, he has posted on official Endo newsletter and vlog, which I mentioned in the community post, about his role for the season, what Arne Slot's told him to work on, what Arne Slot's expectations of him are, what Arne Slot's tactical fit of him will be, and his personal thoughts on missing out on the first 2 games in terms of not being in the starting lineup, and his prospects of the season. Now, all the journalists who wanted to report that Arne Slot isn't in favour of him, or he doesn't fit the mould, or he's trying to shove him out the door, then you might want to pick up your Japanese or get a membership to this channel and hear from the man himself and not stir up the rumour mill, because Wataru Endo is going nowhere. And whether the Varela deal or the Hezze deal happens or not, there's no smoke without a fire, right? Hughes is over there. If there's a release clause, let's see if it can be done as well. Now, he isn't the answer to all our prayers. Any defensive midfielder, as I spoke to Craig on the Anfield Agenda previously, they won't come in and be establishing themselves straight away. Fabinho didn't do it. Endo didn't do it. Even Rodri didn't do it ahead of Fernandinho at Man City. Fernando didn't do it. Vincent Kompany came in as a DM for Manchester City. He couldn't do it. He had to fall back to centre-back position. 6 is a specialist position, but you'd be hiring a long-term prospect for the 6th position who's played in Europe already. You're looking at Adam Wharton, Crystal Palace. If Gomez goes there, to get a first option on him to probably come in and establish himself, because he's Premier League proven with credentials to play the 6th as well. Alan Varela will need some time to settle. The year in Porto would have done him the world of good as well. Zubimendi obviously be playing there all his life as well in the Spanish league, probably would be the one to start sooner than later. However, don't expect fireworks. Alan Varela's not at that level yet, but he could get to level. That's very, very important to note as well. And the good thing is all journalists haven't said it's the end of Liverpool's transfer business. Liverpool aren't expected to do any more deals. It looks as though we're linked to many, many players, so it could be an interesting one. Mo Samarkand, the rumours are refusing to go as well. Newcastle heavily linked to him, but Liverpool will be thereabouts, and we should have the money bags left over from Casado deal, hopefully. So fingers crossed. So once again, I will be giving everyone a summary video later on the inside scoop on what Wataru Man Mountain Endo, the Biggie Emperor E, is saying himself to reassure all the fans of our Japanese scows samurai. He will have a prominent part to play, and a final good transfer or two will always make my day. In fact, it'll make everyone's day. I think Ben Doak is going out to Hull, I believe, on loan. Stefan Bajcetic is sealing a deal to Salzburg as we speak. Barcelona came in too late and way too many financial complications there. Could they even register him? Unconvinced, because they couldn't even register Dani Olmo until they whacked Christensen with levers, the physical levers. But it's a good time to be a Red. Federico Chiesa, a player that's been on many fans' lips for the past few years. Who could have imagined that we signed him with such ease, with such speed, such clarity? FSG, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards. Release the Babblecopter and bring home Varela. He's the one I picked, even when Romeo Lavia appeared to be the one. Till next time, guys, Miyazaki man, Ichiban Miyazaki Gan, the army is growing. Thank you so much, everyone and all the members. Quick video update for this morning. Hope you guys have a great night wherever you are worldwide. Keep safe, keep warm. The lack of transfer activity and Typhoon Shanshan will pass very soon. And after the storm, there's a golden sky. The golden sky being after we batter Man United on the weekend. The biggest tactical analysis and preview coming up. Till next time, Janet means ciao.
Liverpool fan in Japan.